On Darfur, the Secretary General is contacting leaders in the region to follow up on his appeal to the Government of Sudan to reconsider its decision to expel 13 non-governmental organizations which aid some 4.7 million people in Darfur. His recent contacts included telephone calls with the leaders of the African Union and the League of Arab States. The UN Refugee Agency, meanwhile, said it shared the deep concern of the Secretary General and the rest of the UN system over the ordered departure of the aid groups and the serious implications this has for humanitarian efforts and on behalf of hundreds of thousands of extremely vulnerable people in Darfur and elsewhere. For UNHCR, at least 5 of the NGOs asked to leave Sudan have been UNHCR implementing partners carrying out important humanitarian programs, not only in Darfur, but also in Blue Nile State and Khartoum State. So it is noteworthy that the removal could have an impact not only on Darfur, but on vulnerable people elsewhere in the country. UNHCR also says it is concerned at the possible implications this could have more broadly in the region. Experience shows that when vulnerable populations are unable to get the help they need, they go elsewhere in search of protection and assistance. If food can get through to people, they will soon suffer and have to look elsewhere. The UN team in Darfur has helped many displaced people stay as close to home as possible, while also relieving pressure on neighboring Chad, where UNHCR and its partners are already caring for nearly 250,000 refugees from Darfur. UNHCR provides help to a string of 12 remote camps spread over 600 kilometers near the Sudan border. Any influx to Chad would be an additional challenge for UNHCR and other humanitarian agencies because of ongoing insecurity and instability in the country, as well as limited resources like water. The World Health Organization says the decision could lead to the increase of mortality and morbidity due to the interruption of health services, the decline of immunization coverage, and the increase of mortality and morbidity among children if they do not have access to therapeutic feeding and nutrition services. UNICEF said its main concerns were in areas of water and sanitation, nutrition and health. UNICEF is doing what it can to ensure that those programs continue, whether by using existing non-governmental organizations whose licenses have not been revoked and other partners to implement such life-saving assistance. A fact sheet prepared by OCHA is available upstairs, and OCHA's Catherine Bragg will brief you at the stakeout following her humanitarian briefing to the Security Council this afternoon. Meanwhile, according to the African Union United Nations mission in Darfur, a number of banditry activities targeting UNAMID personnel and aid groups was reported in all 3 sectors. Banditry activities included armed robbery, theft of personal belongings, and harassment. No injuries were reported. UNAMID is investigating these incidents. During the last 24 hours, UNAMID military forces conducted 18 confidence-building patrols, 7 escort patrols, 9 night patrols, and 1 investigation patrol covering 42 villages and IDP camps throughout Darfur. And as we just mentioned, the Security Council has scheduled consultations at 3 o'clock this afternoon on Sudan. Assistant Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs, Catherine Bragg, will brief Council members on the latest humanitarian developments, and she expects to speak to reporters at the Council's stakeout afterwards.